Hey guys, it's me, Mario, and today we're going to continue Claw, the giant monkey. How you guys doing today? Hope you're doing well. Chapter 5, Falling. Tom couldn't hold on much longer. His clothes were torn to shreds. His arms and legs were black with bruises. He knew he had to let go. Timing it as best he could, Tom released his hold on the beast's tail and plummeted downwards. Stretching out for the nearest tree, his fingers snagged on a branch, and he swung there, breathless but safe. Above him, Claus stood up, thumped his vast chest, and shrieked at the sky. The treetops shook, his hands scratched and numb. Tom nearly lost his grip on the branch, but managed to wrap his legs around the tree trunk. For the first time, he could see all of Claw. As the beast swung from tree to tree above him, the strange movements of the golden dot on Eldor's map suddenly made sense. The chainmail was wrapped around Claus's neck. Tom gasped with wonder at the sight. The piece of armor shimmered magically. The links seemed to be made of metal, and made Tom think of golden silk, knotted into the pattern that sparkled in the light. Suddenly, Claw dropped down through the trees and lunged at Tom again. The beast's cruel lips were drawn back, revealing his horrible, grinning fangs. Tom grabbed his sword and fought as hard as he could, but it was almost impossible to keep a grip on the tree while he swung his blade. The trees weren't his natural home. Claw was at a huge advantage. The clawed tail shot towards him once again. This time it knocked Tom's sword out of his hand. Tom watched in horror as his weapon spiraled down into the ground and out of sight. Now he was defenseless. He risked a glance at the jungle floor. It seemed a long way down, but his position on the tree trunk was dangerous. He shifted his shield further on to his back, trying to get a better grip on the branch. "Think, Tom," he told himself fiercely. Then it came to him. Onto his shield was fixed the eagle's feather that Arkta, the mountain giant, had given him. It protected him from great heights. Pulling his shield from his back, he held it above him. Then he took a deep breath and jumped. Vines and branches whistled past, but Tom felt the power of the shield protecting him. His fall was slower. Even so, he hit the ground hard. The breath knocked out of him. Within moments, he was buried in the undergrowth. To his relief, his sword lay nearby. He stretched out his hand and grabbed it. Claus shrieked once more, the sound echoing around the jungle. Then silence fell. It seemed that the beast had given him up for dead. Tom lay as still as he could. The comforting weight of the sword in his hand in his hand. His first thoughts were for Storm and Silver. He hadn't seen them since the beast had knocked them aside with his tail. Had they survived? His heart turned as he glanced around. Then he heard the Storm neigh. The ground beneath him trembled as the stallion centered towards him, with Silver close at his heels. Storm nudged him and whined. "Hush!" Tom whispered, reaching up and stroking Storm's nose. "I'm all right." He peered through the leaves over his head. There was nothing in the canopy above him. Tom climbed. I gotta take a swig. My mouth's so dry. Tom climbed to his feet. He could hardly believe that he had no broken limbs. He looked at his shield and offered silent thanks to Aventia's great beasts who had given him their tokens of power. Now set deep into the wooden face of his shield, Furnos's dragon scale protected him from heat, Sepron's tooth from unrushing water, and a nuke spell from extreme cold. Tagis's horseshoe fragment gave him extra speed, and Epoz's golden talon healed wounds. And, of course, Arcturus's eagle feather, which protected him from great heights, had just saved his life. Hacking his way free from the undergrowth was almost as difficult as freeing himself from vines. The ferns of the dark jungle were thick and strong, and curled around him. Then Tom felt something tickling his leg. He looked down. A snake was coiled around his knee. Its green-brown skin gleamed in the dim jungle light. Every now and again, a thin black tongue flickered and was gone again. Its yellow eyes were fixed on Tom. Without taking his eyes off the snake, Tom knocked the creature into the air, and with the tip of his sword, and sliced through its body. The snake's scaly coils twisted and fell to the ground in 2 pieces. Tom sighed with relief. Silver pressed his nose to the ground. His ears pricked and he whined. He had picked up Elena's scent again. Tom leaped into Storm's saddle. It was time for battle. "We're coming, Elena," he thought. "Just hold on." Elena took off. Silver took off. Elena, following the scent. Broken branches tangled with the trees above them as Tom and Storm galloped through the jungle after the wolf. The beast had cut a path through the canopy that was easy to follow. Stumbling and slipping, they raced past trunks as thick as 10 men. Storm darted between trees and beneath vines, taking sharp turns and following the wolf. Alert for signs of danger, Tom watched the trees and clutched his sword. It wasn't long before the tangle of trees cleared a little. A little. Silver bounded forwards, and Storm tossed his head as Tom pressed his heels into the stallion's flanks, encouraging him to gallop faster. But something was wrong with the path in front of them. The land ahead seemed to be falling away. Storm stiffened as Tom desperately reined him in. "Silver!" Tom cried. "Look out!" The wolf twisted his body sharply, but it was too late. Tom watched in horror as Silver went skidding over the edge and out of sight. And that was chapter 5. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys enjoyed chapter 5. I gotta check the title of it. Chapter 5, Falling. Hope you guys enjoyed chapter 5. And I hope I will see you next Saturday. Hopefully. Luckily I was able to do these on Saturday today. And I don't know if I'm going to be doing some on next weekend. I don't know though. My schedule was kind of all over the place. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my videos, and I hope you like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. And I hope I will see you in the next video. Right? Bye bye for now.